Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to Drawing Down the Stars. I'm Snappy, and thank you for joining me for our live tarot reading today, September 29th, 2024. It's a beautiful day and a wonderful evening. Let's give a shout out to everyone here in our chat. Great to see you, Purple Haze. Good to see you, Steve McQueen. Much love, Gandhi. Daphne, good to see you. I hope you're doing okay. All right. Donna Marie, good to see you. Lisa, much love. Valerie, good to see you. Cormid, much love. Zero Air Mission Mez, good to see you. Nikosmas, good evening. Taz, good morning. Sixtus V, good to see you. Geo, much love. NA, much love. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that everything is doing better there, Daphne. All right. Amazing. Handsome Scout, great to see you. Barb, much love. All right. Thank you guys for joining. It's great to see you guys all here bright and early. So let's start by talking about the astrology a little bit. So we have now moved out of that moon in Leo and we are now into the moon in Virgo. So we are in that grounded virginal energy of perfection, of the earth, of doing what is necessary to reach for the stars and achieve that divine image, right? Virgo is that intense energy, that beautiful energy, by her own refinement, achieves apotheosis without help, true to her own vision, right? She lights her own path. Powerful, powerful, powerful energy, but intense energy. We have to remember that moon in Virgo, there is a tendency to be overly critical or overly driven, right? Or to be overly dismissive of the emotional content of our feelings. Virgo has a tendency to be so cold and calculating and about striving ahead. It doesn't have time to consider herself often. But we do have this beautiful sun in Libra, and the sun in Libra is that balance. It is that outgoing communicative energy that seeks others, that seeks balance. This melds with the Virgo perfectly. This is why these two signs are often paired, because they mellow each other. Libra tends to bring that Virgo into communion, tends to cause her to chill out a bit. And Virgo tends to provide that Libra with that striving, that higher attainment, right? Beautiful energy. All right, so let's talk a bit about the title today, Transform Reality Through Artistic Creation. When I was meditating this morning upon the cards, I drew the art card. So beautiful to have the lovers and then the art. Just wild, right? You have that wedding, that agreement, that coming together, and then you have the coming together, the union for that purpose of divine creation, artistic creation, that energy that produces something new within this physical realm, transformative creation. And also, when I was meditating upon that energy, it's about recognizing the power of art and the power of this energy to be able to transform reality, to change your mind, to tell a story, to tell your own story. And in the case of the lovers to the art, it's to tell a shared story, a greater story than on your own, one that comes together in that harmonious, mutual melding of forms and perspective, right? For that shared goal. It's powerful, beautiful energy. And I wanted to read for you guys a fun poem. A little while back, I got this beautiful book, The Poems of W.B. Yeats. And I'm almost about halfway through now, but there's just a couple that I just love. And this one just stood out to me today, and I wanted to read for you. It's called Her Triumph. I did the dragon's will until you came, because I had fancied love a casual improvisation, or a settled game that followed if I let the kerchief fell. Those deeds were best that gave the minute wings, and heavenly music if they gave it wit. And then you stood among the dragon rings. I mocked, being crazy, but you mastered it. and broke the chain and set my ankles free. St. George or else a pagan Perseus, and now we stare astonished at the sea, and a miraculous strange bird shrieks at us. I just love this poem because to me it was really this, he found the muse, he engaged in the muse in that love affair, he drew her into reality, he let the cards play, he engaged in that game. And when they came together in that bolding, in that love, what did they meet? That strange bird on the sea, Aphrodite herself. Beautiful. All right. We are now going to go to our Ganapati oracle. Ganapati is the Lord of the beginnings, the divine child, the guardian of the threshold, and the master of spirits, the Ganas. We ask them to send us a message and to ensure that our words are heard by those who need to hear them. So, Ganapati, what's today's message? All right. This is an energy we've seen before, but it is a powerful, powerful energy. Protection. Having the strength to hold to your convictions and to stand for what is right. To defend what needs to be defended. The family, the home, children, morality, right? Your word, your bond. Beautiful, beautiful energy. And we need to be in that energy of that divine protectress, right? The goddess as Durga, the one who sits upon the lion and protects her children with the totality of her being. Beautiful. All right, let's continue. We are now going to go to our sortes. For those of you unaware, the sortes is a form of bibliomancy. It comes to us from the Greco-Roman tradition. And we invoke the goddesses of inspiration, the divine muses, and we ask them to send us a message through the text. And today we are going to start with the Psychic Bible by Genesis Peorage and the Temple of Psychic Youth. All right, muses, guide my hand. What is the message from Genesis Peorage and the Temple of Psychic Youth? As I more overtly included a magical view of the universe into my creative life, I studied the hermaphroditic as an embodiment of perfection and reunion into a fully conscious whole in alchemy. This positive androgyne I named the pandrogyne in my writing as a symbol of the reconciliation of opposites, an ending of binary templates for nature, and a healing of the fractured Garden of Eden in a process of aware unity with the divine. So incredibly beautiful. Hermaphroditic energy, hermaphroditus, the combination of Hermes and Aphrodite into that divine union. The androgyne, Fani's reformed, returning to that primordial moment right before the fall, before that creator is ripped apart and becomes the unfolding of creation itself, right? Powerful, beautiful energy. Studied that energy as an embodiment of the perfection and reunion into a fully conscious whole in alchemy, right? Into a fully conscious whole in alchemy, the rebus, right? This is what it is in the alchemical tradition. You have to learn to see from the other side. You have to heal those wounds of separation to become greater than the self, right? Whatever that means for you. You know, in the case of Genesis Peorage, they found their lover, right? Which was, oh, excuse me. Sorry about that. But yeah, they found their partner, Lady J, and together they formed a new total being, Briar Peorage, of their own conception. That was this reformation, right? And this is an idea, again, that comes from the Greek mythology, where in some versions of the story, after the creation of humanity, we are a duality. We exist as two forms in a single body, both masculine and feminine. But Zeus thought this was dangerous, thought that we were too powerful, and so split us in twine, dividing our nature. Anyway, there's a lot of wildness there. There's a lot of wildness there, and there's a lot of magic here. And understand that so part of this magical tradition, all of this wedding magic, all of this consummation and coming together is about healing these wounds and learning to see from both sides, learning to meld perspectives and to become greater than the individual. Beautiful. All right, let's continue. All right, we're now going to go to The Mystic Tarot in the Trees of Eternity by Oliver St. John. Muses, guide my hand. What is the message from Oliver St. John? Inspire us. The voice and the spirit and the word, the singer and the song are one song, one word, one prayer of love and devotion. There you have it. You come together in that harmonious artistic creation that reforms something greater, a divine unity of forms, an idyllic being, right? That Fani's reborn. Beautiful, beautiful energy. The voice and the spirit and the word. The singer and the song are one song, one word, one prayer of love and devotion. One song, but what is a song? A song is made of individual parts. And those individual parts do not disappear in the creation of song. Rather, they become harmonious. They become greater than their individual selves. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. We are now going to go to Boccaccio, the Decameron. Muses, guide my hand. What is the message from the Decameron? Inspire us this evening. I make my suit to you, said she, for the love of God, and if your friend should deny what I have told you, tell him roundly that 'twas from me you had it, and that I made complaint to you thereof. I make my suit to you, said she, for the love of God, and if your friend should deny what I have told you, tell him roundly that 'twas from me you had it, and that I made complaint to you thereof. Rebuke, complaint. When do we believe people, right? Retribution, divine judgment, really intense energy, right? There's a constant theme that you will see within the Greek texts of these goddesses who cry out for abuse and are ignored. And then the abuse turns into extreme violence. And then that extreme violence is returned in kind in even greater extremity still. Compounding energy. We see this, for example, in the story of Philomena in Ovid, one of the most vile stories I've ever read, where Philomena is said to marry off Tiresias, and she does not want to consummate the marriage. And so Tiresias takes her against her will in violence. But then he knows that she is going to say something, so he cuts her tongue out and he locks her away in a hidden house. But what happens is her sister comes and finds her. And we see these two women then wind up becoming possessed by that rage, and they have to get vengeance. And they get vengeance by taking the son of Tiresias and killing him, boiling him, turning him into a stew, feeding him to the king. And then as a last insult, Philomena throws the head of the child into the king's face before they run off and transform into birds. Oof, 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 oof. Remember, if justice isn't served, if we don't come together and find and through reason to compromise as a community with that divine power of Athena, then these things get out of control. They turn into the most extremes of violence. Let's continue. We are now going to go to The Shape of My Will by my dear friend, Graham Quinn. All right. Muses, guide my hand. What is the message from Graham? Inspire us this evening. When this fever subsides, I witness with shame the gravity of my actions. Oh, wow. That divine madness taking over, right? I was just telling you the story of these women. And this is actually what happens after that. Even once that rage is satiated, they're not happy with themselves. No one is happy. This is not a good thing. This is just the result of what happens when you do not serve justice. Things get out of control and it turns to the most monstrous of extremes. If we don't learn to flow and balance and reason, then things will go dark, right? And when the fever subsides, we'll be left with the mess and we'll be left with our actions, and the fever is not an excuse at the end of the day. Oof. Let's continue. We are now going to go to Amor Divina. All right. By Aleister Crowley. Muses, guide my hand. What is the message from Crowley? All right. He next invokes Luna in a dance with the song Roll Through the Caverns of Matter, or another invocation suitable. Finally, in his ecstasy, he enters the veil and drinks the sacrament. Invokes Luna in a dance with song. Right? There's the key. It all comes back to that shining light, that Luna, that Theia, that memory, that image, that eidolon, that unconscious, that moon. And we invoke her through song, through loving adoration. All right. Hermann Hesse, Narcissus and Goldman. All right, Muses, guide my hand. What is the message from Hermann Hesse? Inspire us this evening. News from the bishop's city had already reached him on the road as he was approaching. He knew that the plague had been there too, that it was perhaps raining still. People had told him of riots and unrest, and that a governor had been sent by the emperor to restore order, to enforce emergency laws and protect life and property. The bishop had left the city immediately after the outbreak of the epidemic and was living far away in one of his castles in the counties. The wanderer had shown little interest in the news, as long as the city was standing and in its workshop, which he wanted work. Everything else was unimportant. Wow. This is an image I think we've all kind of seen, where many of us are forced to struggle and to work in spite of what's going around us. And we know that the rich and powerful simply get out of Dodge and that what they truly fight for is property and order. Oof. Let's continue. Muses. Let's go now to Egyptian Tarot of Thelema by Oliver St. John. Muses, guide my hand. What is the message from Egyptian Tarot of Thelema? Every number is infinite. There is no difference. Every number is infinite. There is no difference. This is a very, very famous passage for people who are into Thelema, right? This comes from the Book of the Law, and this is Book of the Law 1-2, one of the most important verses right at the beginning. Every number is infinite. There is no difference. You see this echoed in another thelemic sort of aphorism. Every man and every woman is a star, right? The same image. Beautiful, right? We also get, what's interesting in this book is the author here, Oliver St. John, includes right below this passage another passage. Worship then the cabs and behold my light shed over you. Nuit is the star goddess concerned with the occult or the hidden side of nature. Her mysteries of those of sex and generation, not the generation of physical progeny, but the generation of the magical child that is the true sun or sun star of Nuit. That giving birth to the new generation, the drawing down of the magical star, the creation of the homunculus, wild magic. For those with ears to hear, right? Nuit, that power of generation, giving life again, overcoming the cycle of death, living in that ionic. Wow. Let's continue. You're now going to go to Edgar Allan Poe. All right. Muses guide my hand. What is the message from Poe? Inspire us this evening. No one who trustingly consults and thoroughly questions his own soul will be disposed to deny the entire radicalness of the propensity in question. It is not more incomprehensible than distinctive. There lives no man who at some period has not been tormented, for example, by an earnest desire to tantalize a listener by circumlocution. The speaker is aware that he displeases. He has every intention to please. He is usually curt, precise, and clear. The most laconic and luminous language is struggling for an utterance upon his tongue. It is only with difficulty that he restrains himself from giving it flow. He dreads and deprecates the anger of him who he addresses. Yet the thought strikes him that by certain involutions and parentheses, this anger may be engendered. That single thought is enough. The impulse to increase to a wish, the wish to a desire, the desire to an uncontrollable longing, and the longing to the deep regret and mortification of the speaker, and in defiance of all other consequences is indulged. For those with ears to hear, he just kind of laid out so much of the magic in the levels that it goes through. That desire into that mourning, into that longing, into that extremification and mortification. Wow. Intense. Think of Demeter. Poe knows his witchcraft. Goethe. Faust. All right. Muses guide my hand. What is the message from Faust? Inspire us this evening. Give me the girl in 7 hours of grace. I wouldn't ask the devil for assistance to overcome the little thing's resistance. Oof. Oh my gosh. Give me the girl in 7 hours of grace. I wouldn't ask the devil for assistance to overcome the little thing's resistance. Horrible, intense. But, you know, it is that monstrous energy, right, that is confronted. That, again, requires that justice response. And again, I've told this story, but this story just keeps coming up again and again with the Musings and with me. And it's that story of Acca Laurentia, the mother of Lares, right? Diamuta, the story of Diamuta. And with the story of Diamuta, right, she knows of Zeus's intent to commit violence to our word, the nymph Juturna. He knows of this, and he knows that Juturna resists, and he knows that Zeus has commanded everyone to assist him. She is the only one who stands up and goes to Hera and says something, tries to do something about it, right? Who gives voice, who stands against that injustice. And for this, she has her tongue ripped out, and she is tossed into the swamps, right? Tossed into the swamps and into the underworld, where she becomes that mother of Larry's. But at the same time, this is secret magic. This is powerful magic. This is that Medea magic, right? That feminine that'll come back in justice, right? She is now dragon-tongued. Her tongue has been replaced, and she bears the dragon in her breast. And the cycles always come back around, right? Oof. Let us continue. Rebel A. Gargantua and Pantagruel. Use this, guide my hand. What is the message from Rebel A? As for the arms and the hands, she proved that it was more rational to twist towards the shoulders, because that part of the body should not be defenseless, seeing that the four parts are appropriately furnished with teeth, which a person can employ not only for masticating, but also without use of the hands as a defense against these harmful things. And thus, by the witness and warrant of brute beasts, she drew all the foolishness and the stupid to her judgment, and was a wonder to all the brainless folk bereft of good judgment and common intelligence. Whoa. I think we're seeing that energy again on full display here. As for the arms and the hands, she proved that it was more rational to twist towards the shoulders, because that part of the body should not be defenseless, seeing that the four parts are appropriately furnished with teeth, which a person can employ not only for masticating, but also without use of the hands as a defense against things harmful. Right now she has that dragon bite. She may have lost her tongue, but she still has her teeth. She is far from defenseless. And thus, by the witness and warrant of brute beasts, she drew all the foolishness and the stupid to her judgment, for she is that grand judge, and was a wonder to all the brainless folk bereft of good judgment and common intelligence. They couldn't understand her, the dumb. Oh, wow. Let us continue. Arcana Mundi by George Luck. Muses, guide my hand. What is the message from George Luck? Inspire us. One particular planet is in charge of it, but there is also a great variety as to the names and functions of the planets. The message is there's always a planet in charge of everything, but it's also always more complicated and nuanced at the same time. We need to go to that planetary magic, right? Draw down those stars. Engage with those divine images, right? They can be multiple things, you know. It can be that transcendent mystical deity. It can be that stellar object, you know, and it can be an incarnated person. It can be an image of history, right? You have to enter the mind of that poet, the poetical world of the imaginal, and perceive with a new way of perceiving. All right, let's continue. We are now going to go to our tarot proper. But before I do, please give me a like and a subscribe. It really does make a big difference. It boosts everything in the algorithm, and it would really help me out. And if you're at all interested in a private reading, you can reach out to me, snappyddts@gmail.com, or find me on the Myth and Lore Discord, Snappy or Lady Snappy. All right, we're going to use the Thoth Tarot of Lady Frida Harris and Aleister Crowley. And we invoke the deity, Saturn Kronos, and we ask them to dissect our life, to cut it up and put it on the plate, to show us our interconnections and how can we rise above, how can we best move and flow, how can we overcome conflict, and manifest our true will. And what is the message for the greater community? And as always, that center card is the most important card. And today's center is the Empress. The Empress. The feminine in its totality, pursuing the divine feminine, right? Aphrodite in all of her power, right? And recognize, right? She is of multiplicity. She exists as this incredible, profound image. On one hand, she is that divine mother, right? That perfected creator. On the other, she is that perfected virgin, right? Forever youthful, forever removed and chaste and pure and untouched. But she is also that lover of all, right? Who makes love with her creation in all of its multiple forms, in all of its many ways. And she is also that intersexed being who makes love with herself to give birth to that universe. The totality of forms, the key being that feminine, that mothering nature, that kin builder, right? Let's continue. So the center is all about connecting to that feminine. Wow. Wow. Then we have the lust, the strength card, right? That feminine in its most fiery, passionate form. Medea upon that beast, Lady Babylon writhing upon the beast, drawing down the star, flipping the pole, manifesting that rage and using it to bring justice, to transform order and reality itself, right? That is the result. That's where this energy goes, that justice upon the earth and all of its power and glory, right? Transformative fire. Dangerous energy, right? But powerful and necessary. For if we do not burn the dead brush from the wood, the forest will stagnate. Let us continue. Wow. We must be in that Hecate energy, Hecate trivia, the trimorphos, the three formed, the one of the three ways, in the three worlds of three minds, who pursues the divine virtue above all, who stands for truth, justice, and morality, and pursues it, right? Again, that Diamuta energy, Hecate energy. Remember, Hecate is the one who hears the violence, the abduction of the Kori, and she does not rest. She engages in the search. She helps the great mother to meet her, to find that child. She listens to her cries and aids them both, and she shines that light to and from the underworld. So this is that reminder: be true, be that moral strength, be that moral point in all things, in all ways, from multiple perspectives, right? Protect that feminine, stand for that truth, for that perspective and that justice. Flip these poles. Let us continue to pursue that feminine, that great mother, is to complete the tower. It's to manifest wealth upon the earth. Plutus born, right? Beautiful energy. This is the coming together for creation. Love, security, family, home, wealth, abundance, joy, all manifesting in the earth. Beautiful. We do see here, though, there is a worry. There is a worry as we embrace this energy, because this is powerful, intense energy. This is a great upgrade from where we are standing, right? Credible transformation. And there's a lot of worry here. There's a lot of fear of resistance, of growing out of our limitations, of growing beyond, right? The 5 is that energy of expansion, of moving beyond that 4, which is our power base, and of trying to project greater into heights, you know. But as we enter into that 5, we struggle. It is out of balance. We need to put more energy in. And we have 2 ways we can go here. Some of us will fall short. We'll be unable to expand and will retreat back into the comfort of the familiar, the 4. Others of us will struggle, will persist through this, will engage in that transformative energy and manifest the 6. Success upon the earth, perfected balance. One away from success and wealth. All we need to do is be able to have the strength to persist, that fire, that lust, right? That passionate energy to engage, to be true to that image, to follow and to pursue that divine feminine. Let's continue. There will be conflict, right? There was always conflict in this kind of an energy. Again, as we try to expand beyond the security of our 4, as we try to bring transformational energy and try to hold things to account and bring that fire, this will result in conflict. But the energy here is always to be true, to move above and beyond, to not engage in the petty squabbles, but to instead strive for that greater height, to remember the true fight, the true fiery energy. Where is this energy going and what is the pursuit? If you can persist beyond the squabble, you can manifest the 6, which is victory. Again, that perfected middle ground, the 6, the middle way. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. We are so close. We just need to be in that refined energy. We need to be in that engaged energy, true to our image, with that strength to do what is necessary to flip those poles. Let's continue. What is inspiring this but the muses themselves, right? That fiery energy of inspiration, the beginning of a new passionate pursuit, and it is attached to that divine feminine. As we pursue her and engage with her, we transform reality. We pursue that virtue. We manifest the tower, but we have to pursue that muse, that inspiring energy. We have to light that fire under ourselves and go towards that divine feminine. You know, many of us will know this energy and how we're meant to engage with it, right? Some of us will be drawing it down into ourselves. Some of us will be moving to someone who embodies it and connecting with them. Find how this energy plays into your life and be inspired and engage in that transformation. Either way, it is a transformation and an expansion of perspective. Okay? And when you pursue that fire, right? It's not only going to light the fire that brings that inspiration, right? That gives you the strength to draw down the stars, but it will connect you in loving harmony to a greater community. And that love that you produce will be expansive. The 9 is the most powerful number, right? It's that fiery number of transformation. This is love that grows exponentially. The cups are overflowing in charity, right? Beautiful, beautiful love. But you have to have that strength to pursue that inspiration, to transform this 1 to the 10, to go through the totality of that cycle. Wow. Look at this. Now we have the 9 in this game. Not only do we have the 10, we have the 9. Wealth and abundance and transformation, exponential growth. Again, it's that inspiring energy that will transform reality around you. This is you causing repercussions in the universe. Other people following suit and working in similar ways, spreading out in that flow, in that transformative movement. Wow. And it is about lighting that fire, that torch of the muse, coming together in that community. Beautiful. Wow. This is so amazing, this energy. So incredible. Okay. Oof. All right. I'm going to flip my camera so you guys can take a look. Okay. And please give me a like and a subscribe. It really does make a big difference. Leave a comment if this resonates with you. And if you would like a private reading, reach out, snappyddts@gmail.com. Okay, let's take a look here. Look, how do we overcome that strength? We need to connect to that Medea energy, that Lady Babylon energy, that fiery, passionate person who says no, right? What is Medea truly? She is the one who goes from abducted, cursed by Aphrodite, spurned, and seen as vile, to the queen of the Medes, transforming the universe through her own power and strength by her own means. The cycle completed. That virgin realized descended to the stars. Virgo in its purest form, most fiery form. She sets herself ablaze. She crowns herself queen. And the world bowed, right? That's that energy you embody, and it's inspiring. It sends those repercussions across the universe. When you stand for that justice, when you embody that justice, especially in that inspiring feminine energy, it can overcome. This worry is nothing. This worry is out of the way. We just have to have the strength to persist and to be in that expansive, to transform this into the six. Right? To be in this energy, knowing where we're going. Beautiful. Let's continue. If we can light that fire, that inspiration, and pursue that inspiration, which is that great mother, that divine feminine in its totality, realizing, connecting to this, bringing this to its height, to its most held esteem and highest respected position, moving to embody her, to embrace her. We do that, you manifest the wealth, the transformative energy, completing of the tower, the building of the temple of the muses, security, family, love realized. We have to be in that virtuous energy. We have to have the strength to persist, that strength to speak up when we witness violence, when we see something that is awful, to stand for justice, to be the one who will speak even to power like Zeus. We must embody that Diamuta, that Hecate, and pursue that justice and overcome the strife. If we pursue justice in its highest form, in its purest form, if we resist the petty squabbles, and we pursue that higher goal of transcendence, if we take the blows and we use them to fuel us, we can turn this into the six of victory. And look, that virtue, that victory, it leads to that expansive growth, that inspiring, fiery energy. When you stand up to this strife energy, when you speak out to this injustice, it causes that reverberation within the earth. It's that inspiring energy. This will produce action, transformative result, right? We have to give voice. That is where the magic is. Stand up. That is part of the tacit pact that you make with that great mother. If you wish to follow the muses, engage with her, then you have signed up to pursue justice and to give voice where she cannot. All right. Now let's look at her crosses. Yeah. If you can connect to that feminine energy, embody it, embrace it, bring it into your life, expand your perspective, you will crush that worry. That worry will be non-existent. It will be set ablaze in the fire of the nine, that expansive, transformative energy of growth. If you can connect to her, if you can embody her, if you can move with this great mother energy, you will overcome the strife. And you will engage in communal energy of loving forgiveness, of acceptance, of flow, and of expansive transformation that heals these wounds and moves beyond them. You know, truth and reconciliation, harmony, flow, and justice, not violence and strife, right? But loving, communal, expansive, healing energy. That mother energy. Wow, this was an intense reading, everyone. But that's the message today. I hope it resonated with you. It certainly resonated with me. All right, let's do one final sortes. We're going to go back to Goethe's Faust. All right, Muses, guide my hand. What is the message from Faust? Inspire us this evening. So overwhelmed, one might suppose, physics and metaphysics, gray, had come to life before your nose and then exunt away. Wow, what a beautiful ending. So overwhelmed, one might suppose, physics and metaphysics, gray, had come to life before your nose, away, exunt. Recognize this justice, these cycles. It is not just some quackery. This is physics of the universe. Tit for tat. Greater than you and I could ever imagine. All right, everyone. Peace and love. I hope I see you again tomorrow. Thank you all for joining me and take care. Thanks again.